Pathmonk is the AI for website conversions. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50% by adding Pathmonk to your website in seconds, letting the artificial intelligence do all the work, and increase conversions while you keep doing marketing as usual. Check us out on pathmonk.com. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Pathmonk Presents podcast. Today, I'm really excited to speak to our guest. We've got Donald over at ArtPix 3D. Donald, how are you doing today?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing really well. Thanks for asking. Looking forward to Thanksgiving right around the corner. Getting ready
Absolutely.
to fill up my belly. So,
turkey now.
Yeah, exactly. Can't wait. So, today I'm really excited to talk about ArtPix 3D, what you guys are doing over there, especially from a growth and digital marketing perspective. We love to focus on marketing growth and all things digital. But before we dive into anything a little bit too in depth, I guess I would say, why don't we get started with just a little bit of background? Tell us about your company and what it's all about.
Okay. Well, I'm very pleased to be working at ArtPix, first of all. I took the position in 23 and am very pleased with the way things are going there. As far as what ArtPix does, we're known for 3D crystals, but we are also doing personalized gifts and innovating in that department as well. So, pillows, bamboo blocks, acrylic blocks, wine stoppers, USB crystals, you name it. We do a lot of different things and innovating in a lot of different ways. ArtPix is a really, really, really good company at when it comes to innovation and comes to those types of things. As far as what we stand for, we stand in integrity with our partners and loyalty to our partners, as well as our customers. Try to create a really nice customer journey for them on the website. And bring everything to the forefront as far as our products go through innovation.
Great background, thanks. And especially good timing as we come around to like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas right around the corner.
Absolutely.
If anyone out there listening needs a little gift, check out ArtPix 3D.
Yep.
So to dive in, that's right. So to dive into things a little bit more, maybe we can talk about kind of like your typical audience. So in terms of, let's say, the industries or typical clients or typical audience members that you see coming to the ArtPix 3D website, what sort of problems are you solving for them? What sort of products can they expect to see on the website? What sort of experience can they expect when they're getting in touch with you guys?
So we have different ways of facilitating a product, and we also have different channels. We have an omni-channel approach. So if basically our D2C customers come directly through the website, they interact with a very intuitive platform that we've built for them to make their order, facilitate their order, 3D previews, things like that. Those are a broad range of people. Quite frankly, it can be anyone who wants to memorialize their parent, buy a gift for Christmas. There's lots of applications that can go into there. Just buy something to put on their wall. Lots of things there. We also have a bulk order channel where wholesalers can come in and order things in bulk and get a premium discount on that, as well as a corporate awards, corporate gifting channel, for like say a company wants 100 awards for their employees and they want to put like their crest on it or whatever, we can do that. Beautification of their business, they want to put something right in the middle to showcase their emblem or whatever. We do that as well. The last thing that we do that I am currently heading is the B2B side of things. We are doing a reseller program. We've rolled out a free reseller program where resellers can actually come to us. We've built a SaaS platform for them to log into via email and password. And we've eliminated all the barriers that other companies have, such as upfront costs. We've eliminated, the bringing liquid capital to the table. We've eliminated need to hold inventory. There's no minimum sales requirements. Lots of good things happening there. We ship for free to the location or the customer, free engraving. Lots of innovations coming down the pike on that as well with new products and things like that. We already offer the highest variety in the industry. The only thing a business needs to actually sign up for that program is an EIN, a W-9, and a resale certificate. If they have those three things, we can sign them up fairly quickly, get them started, and then they can use the platform to sell the product. It's pretty neat. We also have a very lucrative discount system that we utilize. It's a tiered system. It's unique. Not going to get too much into it, but partners love it. It's been a pretty big success so far.
Awesome. Wait, definitely going above and beyond just the typical B2C website. I didn't realize you guys had such a SaaS platform as well and offering different partnership opportunities.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, people should definitely check you out. So staying on kind of the topic of marketing, growth, and digital strategies, I want to talk not just about the audience, but how they typically find you. So what sort of typical acquisition channels have you guys been working on lately? What's been seeing a lot of success, and what's driving most of the traffic?
Well, okay, so we utilize all the main channels, social, paid social, organic social, Google, Bing. We do all the SEO, point to click, things like that. We also are doing some direct mail from the B2B side we're sending out crystals to different locations of, target verticals, things like that. Currently targeting gift shops, pet shops, funeral homes to try to drive more consistent revenue across the board. Seems to be working pretty well. They like it a lot. But overall, social is obviously where most of your point to click and things like that are going to come from, as well as the Google searches.
In terms of the social, is there a specific social point that works best? Is it Instagram, Facebook?
I think it's across the board with Meta. So
Okay.
like, that's where we've seen the most leads. To give you an idea, I was brought in to build the lead generation engine for the B2B side as well. And basically, when you're building a lead generation engine, it starts out slow and, it kind of grows over time. Whereas when we built ours, we kept it simple, made a landing page, did all those things. And then through social, we've seen that that's the higher platform for conversion when people come in and things like that. Through Google, it's a little more complicated, a little more expensive, believe it or not. And so at the end of the day, our social channels really drive a lot of revenue to the site, but there are others, and other things that happen there. But from a B2B perspective and from a D2C perspective, paid social is where it's at.
Okay. Speaking of driving people from different channels back to the website, ultimately for conversions, obviously the website is the primary location for conversions, but what role does the website play in terms of, let's say, client education, conversions, the kind of like the final destination as it comes to anyone for B2B, B2C, basically everything that you guys have built to be able to convert a client? Like, what has gone into building that website to tailor the experience?
A lot. We do everything from a personalized 3D preview that's sent to the customer to ensure that they can actually see what's happening there. It's a paid 3D preview. We've customized and tailored the customer journey. So as they're going through, they can click, add, do things there. It's intuitive. It tells you what light bases you need. It tells you, what you can add, what you can do, how you can do it, and kind of walks you through the process. Once you get to the click to the card, it's very easy to check out. And then we're working on innovating. Obviously, customer journey is something you want to pay attention to, not just from a, okay, it's good perspective, but from a, you need to really pay attention to that and innovate as you go.
Awesome.
So we're open to all ideas.
I know we focus a lot on the customer journey over here at Pathmonk, so we might have something similar to talk about after this conversation.
Absolutely.
Is there any sort of tools, tips, methods, approaches that you would recommend in terms of what makes a website a great converting website?
From my experience, keeping it simple is really, the nuts and bolts of it. Have a good foundation for your tech stack. When you're looking at things, obviously don't get caught up in doing the same thing over and over and over again. Just because it was your idea doesn't mean it can't change. I worked at a company called Red Ventures for a long time and was a master sales agent there. And our owner used to say all the time, everything's written in pencil. And so I kind of take that approach. I took that with me through the years as well. So I have a firm belief that everything's written in pencil and everything can change and will change. And you have to be open to collaborate, not only with your team and hear their ideas, but you have to be open to, talk to other vendors, other partners, hear their thing, hear their stuff as well, and then make the best decisions possible as a leader, even if it is in contradiction to your own.
Yeah, that's wise words, I would say. Yeah, I think everyone could kind of learn a little bit about that. Some
Yeah.
people get really stuck in their ways and they always think, oh, I've been leading this team or I've been doing this for so long, I must be right. Yeah,
Mhm.
if you're not open to listening to different perspectives, how are you ever going to get better, right?
Yeah, you're doomed if you do that. You're just stuck in the same old, and eventually it's going to pass you by, and then you're going to be, stuck doing the whole, what happened?
Yeah,
And
stick in
everybody
the middle.
around you is going to be like, well,
Yeah, you didn't stay up to date with the times. Okay, so
absolutely.
I want to shift a little bit away from ArtPix 3D and a little bit over to Donald as kind of the marketing growth and
Sure.
sales professional. So in terms of kind of like day-to-day tasks, what are you focusing on? When you first get started, are there any things that you will do every single day? Is there kind of a routine, or is every day a little bit different?
Well, given my role, I'm cross collaborating across the entire org. So, everything from marketing emails, cold outreach, outreach to smaller businesses, medium businesses, large businesses, helping with, development of the portal and innovation inside of the portal, talking and building relationships with new partners every day. If you go look at my calendar, it's backed out all the way into February. And so there's a lot to unpack there. But from a everyday perspective, it's a lot of cross-team collaboration and a lot of outreach.
Mhm. What do you find works best within those collaborations? Like, what are you often trying to achieve, or what are you trying to learn from other departments that you don't necessarily have full eyes on yourself?
Well, you can gain a lot of insight from other departments because a lot of times those guys think a little differently than you do. And they understand their processes and you understand your process, right? So when you hear their process, you gain a better understanding. And when you're doing that cross collaboratively across teams, basically what happens there is you hear a lot of ideas. You understand their job and how it works. And then once you put all that together, you can then do your job more effectively as a leader because you're taking into account, well, if I do it this way, it may affect them this way negatively or and vice versa. And so that takes a little bit it takes a good ear and
Yeah,
it takes a lot of conversation and
yeah.
just knowing your product, knowing your team, and just really getting to the nuts and bolts of how things work, coming together with ideas, implementing the ideas, making sure that what you've delegated is there, and then timelines, things like that, all that comes into play.
I would agree. I think the teams that where sales only talks to sales and marketing only talks to marketing and development only talks to development, and eventually you fall victim to what is it, like tunnel vision, right?
Yeah,
You're only looking at the same things over and over and over. So yeah,
absolutely.
these big
Yeah.
meetings where everyone's able to bring their ideas to the table so that other departments can say, yeah, that's good, or no, that I think this is bad, and because of A, B, and C, those are always the best and most effective
Yeah.
conversations.
I have individual meetings as well as a full department meeting every week.
Okay, the next one. I know there's a lot of places that everyone goes to kind of learn, grow, stay up to date, and there's a lot of content out there. So where do you go in terms of as Donald, just the marketing and growth professional, where do you go to kind of learn, grow, and stay up to date?
Well, the first thing is I try to cut out the noise a little bit because there's a lot of like social salesmen out there that think they have the golden ticket for how to get somebody to answer the cold email,
Mm.
or you have the best opener ever for a cold call or one liner. So I try to stay away from those guys first of all. And normally I will be on LinkedIn or something like that, see something appear drops, kind of go look that over, blogs such as, with Pathmonk, and other things like that. I'll also read a book or two occasionally on like sales processes. None of the again, crazy sales stuff where it's like, oh, you do this, you'll win every time. There's no such thing. And I will say that to everyone. There is no such thing as a silver bullet for sales or marketing in any way whatsoever. So if you hear that, don't do it.
I agree. But there's definitely some places out there that can give you some different perspectives. People that said,
Absolutely.
I tried this out once and it worked. Maybe it's something that you could try. But yeah, I think more than anything, testing out new approaches and being open to new approaches, right? Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah, and if you don't try to grow, you don't try to stay up to date, you don't try to take in new information,
Right.
like we
Yep.
said earlier, you're going to become stale.
Well,
Okay,
yeah. I consider it my job. And most leaders should consider it their job to vet different vendors and do different things and look at new technologies and be up to date on those things. The only way you can do that is to have a conversation.
right. And moving into the final piece of this conversation, we're going into what we like to call the rapid fire round. Sometimes it's not as rapid, but it's a little bit more playful. The next couple of questions are going to be a little bit more thought-provoking. And they're
Sure.
not necessarily going to be about Donald or ArtPix 3D, but more about your opinions. So the first one, just a little bit of a easy question. What's the last book you read?
The Thief of Always by Clive Barker.
Sounds like a good one. I'll add it to my list. Number
Really
two,
good. Recommend it.
if there were no boundaries in technology, what would be the one thing that you would want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
Okay, so that's a broad question, but if I could
Yeah.
single out one thing, it would be there are certain privacy laws that prevent us from seeing any company really from seeing who comes to the site. You can see
Mhm.
the company, but you can't pinpoint the person.
Mhm.
And that causes a huge problem and makes it so, you have to call out to all these different people, not knowing who it is or what it is, cold calling all these different people, cold emailing all these different people when you could actually just pinpoint the exact person and then eliminate all the fluff. People hate getting cold calls for no reason. People hate getting cold emails, and I get that. But at the end of the day, we don't know who went to the site. So if we see, like a company like Shutterfly went to the site, for instance, you know, how am I going to find a needle in a haystack? It could be someone wanting a crystal. It could be somebody wanting to innovate their business section or their office, and they have many. It could be a awards order. It could be lots of different things. They could want to partner with us in a manufacturing way. But at the end of the day, there's no way to identify that person, and that makes it very difficult for sales and marketers across the board. So if that technology ever came available, I'd be the first one on it.
The moment it comes out, I'll let you know if I ever get a
Let me
sneak
know.
peek into
I'm buying immediately.
it.
Yep.
Next, if there was one repetitive task that you could automate, what would it be?
Cold calling.
Well, like some sort of a cold call robot that a duplicate of Donald on the phone or something like that.
If there was a way to create AI to where it could do a perfect cold call, then that would be amazing. Obviously, that's not a place that AI is going to be anytime soon. From the personability factor and from, just when you're talking to a human factor. Um, Also, people buy from, people they like. So at the end of the day, you could have the best product in the world and have an AI bot selling it. But if you don't have that personability and likability, then you're not selling anything anyway. It doesn't really matter.
Very.
And then vice versa. You could have a terrible product and someone like you and give you a shot. So I think I would love to automate that. Absolutely. That would be the one thing that I would love to automate with AI, but I don't think it'll ever happen.
I'm with you. I'm with you. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
And for the last one, what is one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
Wow. Um, so when I look back on my sales and marketing career, I was in several low points, toxic work environments and, failed sales or clawbacks and positions where I lost all the money I had gained and things like that. And so there were a lot of low points there. And what I would do is I would go back and just tell myself to hang in there and reset and keep going. Things get better.
Wise words, for wise words. Well, Donald, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining the conversation today. We really appreciate it. Anyone out there that's looking for any 3D printed crystallized gifts for maybe the holiday season coming up, go check out ArtPix 3D. We'll definitely have a backlink to their website along with the blog post on our website. So feel free to check them out. Donald, thanks so much for joining today. I appreciated having you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Lots of things on the website. Go check it out.